The first Trio Cash Cup finals are officially over, and let me just say, there was so much controversy that happened. We had both Peterbot, Bugha, and Cold, and Pollo, Boltz, and Rapid not be able to get into their very last game to potentially propel themselves into winning this tournament. We have so much to talk about in today's video though. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we are trying to hit 75,000 subscribers by the end of the month. Use code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop if you guys want to support me even more. Without further ado though, let's get straight into today's video. All right, so let's just start off by going over the winner of this tournament, and then I'll go a little more in depth about what actually happened with the other big name teams. So in first place was actually Skittles, Chubb, and Chimp on 555 points in 8 games, being able to win 2 of them. They had an average elims of 12.2 and an average placement of 6.2. I don't want to be like sitting up here taking away from their win or anything, so a huge congratulations to them. Second place was actually Acorn's brand new trio, and in yesterday's video, this was one of the teams that I said I was very curious how they're actually going to perform in a set lobby finals, since this is a double IGL team of both Acorn and Ritual. But obviously they are making it work, getting 540 points in 8 games and winning 2 of them. They had an average elims of 15.3 and an average placement of 8.6. But now in third place is where some of the controversy actually starts, with Cold, Peterbot, and Bugha getting 526 points in 9 games and winning 4 of them. Let me go over their match history real quick, because it is pretty crazy to look at how much this team was actually fragging out. They got a 25 elimination win, then a 18 elimination win, 19 elimination win, then they died off spawn 3 games, then they got a 27 elimination win, 12 elimination second, and then they died off spawn. And then if you look at the time, they still should have had 7 minutes to be able to queue into the very last game, but unfortunately somehow in a 7-minute queue they were not able to get into a game. And I'm going to show you guys some times and stuff a little bit with the team that was actually in 4th place as well, of Rapid, Pollo, and Boltz. These 2 teams were 1 and 2 after they both got into their final games. Pollo's trio actually had an average elims of 13.5 and an average placement of 9.2 though. Looking at their match history, it's very consistent as well. It's an 11 elimination 10th, 23 elimination win, 11 elimination win, 16 elimination win, died in the mid game, then a 21 elimination win, and then 2 pretty bad games, but a 20 elimination 12th in their last game. And Boltz even showed a clip of them dying on purpose to be able to get into the last queue, which they were unfortunately not able to get into. They finished their very last game with 6 minutes left to queue and were not able to get in. But the only reason why it's a little bit weird to me is because if we look at 5th place of Muzz, Clix, and Rise, if I just show you guys their last game real quick, they were actually able to get into the last game at the same time that Peterbot, Cold, and Bugha queued up as well. So that's just how this tournament is going to work. Some teams are going to get queues some week, others aren't, and teams are really going to have to like perfect timing of queues to make sure that they are able to win this tournament, since it is not set lobbies. Muzz, Clix, and Rise finished in the top 5 on 509 points in 7 games, winning 3 of them. They had an 11 elimination win, 5 elimination second, 14 elimination second, 4 elimination 8th, 8 elimination win, 10 elimination 3rd, and a 12 elimination 1st. They had an average placement of 2.5, so by far the best average placement on the day, and an average elims of 9.1. Super consistent stuff for them, especially because Clix wasn't playing from his home setup. 6th place was Bacon, 7th was Herc, 8th place might actually be a team that surprises some of you guys, but it is actually Bucky, Ocus, and Craze on 444 points, the Clix numbers, being able to finish in 8th place, getting 2 wins out of their 8 games. Shout out to Bucky and Ocus for real for being able to finish in the top 10 in their first Trio Cash Cup finals together. 9th place was Rat Gun, and then rounding out the top 10 was Baka, Pars, and Pump. Honestly, most of the big name teams were inside of that top 10, but we did still have some other big name teams like Cooper, Miro, and Sphinx finish in 27th. Not the best day for them. Batman, Bugha, Kanata, and Yamzo, the team that actually won the opens yesterday, finished in 31st place, only being able to get 319 points in 10 games, and they are all already looking for new trios now. So I am pretty curious to see where each of these players land. Those were most of the notable teams though. It's very unfortunate that teams like Peterbot, Cold, and Bugha, and Rapid, Pollo, and Boltz weren't able to get into their last games, because I have no doubt that those teams would have finished 1 and 2 on the leaderboard. But like I said earlier, I don't want to take anything away from Skittles, Chubbs, and Chimp. They just got the luck of the draw this week, so shout out to them for being able to get the win. Let's move on to EU now though. Now, one of the most dominant duos of all of last year has converted that into trio success as well now, with Swizzy, Merstash, and Vania finishing on 506 points points in 7 games, being able to win 3 of them. They won this tournament by over 50 points. Their match history is absolutely insane. They had an average elims of 11.7 and an average placement of 3.8 in a finals lobby. This consistency is absolutely insane. If you look at their match history, it is a 15 elimination win, a 4 elimination third, a 6 elimination 8th, 2 elimination 7th, a 13 elimination 6th, a 20 elimination win, then a 22 elimination win to finish off the tournament and get them the win. So their worst game was a 2 elimination 7, and if that's going to be your worst game in a finals lobby where you're also fragging out at the same time, this could be the favorite and one of the best trios in the world right now by far. Second place though was actually the team that I predicted to get the win today of Vico, Chap, and Flixie. They finished on 464 points in 9 games, being able to win 2 of them. They had an average placement of 10.8 and an average elims of 10.3. I know a lot of you guys care about Vico and Flixie and Chap as well, so let me go over their match history real quick for you guys because they were actually kind of fragging out. They got a 13 elimination 5th, a 16 elimination 8th, 19 elimination 8th, then a 6 elimination 3rd, 16 elimination win, and a 15 elimination win. If they were just able to convert a couple of their first couple of games into wins, then they would have no doubt probably been able to win this tournament. Definitely some room for improvement for them, but still a second place is still obviously very good. Third place is one of the duos that was actually been like one of the most underrated duos this season so far on EU of Demas, and they were able to finish in 3rd place on 441 points in 7 games. 4th place was Della, 5th place was Ricky, 6th place was Piroz, 7th was Sky, 8th was Robon, 9th was Cringe, and then rounding out the top 10 was another Cringe. Some other notable teams outside the top 10 though is Ping, Malibuca, and Panzer, and Malibuca actually tweeted that they weren't able to get into like their last 2 games, or they feel like they would have no doubt been able to place in the top 3, and I honestly have to believe him. They looked very good today, getting an average elims of 6.6 and an average placement of 11.2. That is just one of the unfortunate things about tournaments that run like multiple games at a time for finals, is you have to be really precise with how you are queuing to be able to make sure you are maximizing the amount of games you can play. Right under them was Video, Yanis, and Rezon. They finished with 377 points in 9 games with an average elims of 6.8 and an average placement of 10.5. Right under them was actually Tayson in 15th place. Now I've seen a lot of people honestly kind of like hating on Tayson. They're like, how did he go from Vino to Hris and Skavi? And these are just some of the most like underrated players on EU. A 15th place is not the best for their first tournament finals together, but I think if they do stick together, give it some time, I think they could turn this into like a top 10 trio on EU potentially. I'm really just rooting for the Tayson comeback here. They got 366 points in 10 games with an average elims of only 5.5 and an average placement of 12.9. So just a little bit more consistency coming out of them hopefully, and the placement will come with that. A team that honestly did look pretty disappointing today though was in 34th place of Queasy, Vino, and Pixie. Now they finished on only 318 points. They played out all 10 of their games and were only able to get 2 wins. If you look at their average elims, it's a 5.8 and an average placement of 15. I feel like we have to go over their match history just so we can really see what went wrong for them. They got a 3 elimination 20th, a 7 elimination 9th, 12 elimination win, 1 elimination 18th, 18 elimination 11th, 0 elimination 30th, 21 elimination win, 2 elimination 28th, 4 elimination 10th, and then a 0 elimination 22nd. Definitely not the start that this trio wanted. I'm curious on how long they are going to be testing out Pixie for, and if they struggle again, like say next week, is he going to be dropped for somebody else? I guess time will tell with this trio though. A 34th is definitely not what they want though. Cammy, Seti, and Yapko is another disappointing team on the day, finishing in 46th place with only getting 279 points in 8 games. Let's check over the top 10 damage leaderboard for the first trio Cash Cup finals on EU. 10th place was Momsy, 9th was Rex, 8th was Mustache, 7th was Twee, 6th was Swizzy, 5th was Flixie, 4th was Vico, 3rd was Kiro, 2nd was actually Vino while placing 30th, so shout out to Vino. He's still showing why he is one of the best fighters in the world. And then in first place with 13,380 damage of Wolvax. I think those are pretty much all of the notable teams though. If you have any other teams you want me to go over for EU in the future, comment them down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new though, as we are trying to hit 75k by the end of the month. We just hit 73k, so thank you guys all so much for that. Use code KDog in the Fortnite item shop if you guys want to support me even more. Follow me on my Twitter at KDog to keep up to date with everything to do with Fortnite competitive. YouTube says you'll enjoy one of the 2 videos up on the screen right now, so go check them out if you guys haven't already. Thank God for another day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.